Alright, so here we join Sienna on a fine fall morning. I believe it's like the morning after Thanksgiving or sometime very close to the holiday. And as you can see, she's starting to take care of the lawn in front of her property. And she's also starting to consider what she wants to do with the property because she knows what kind of business she wants to start. And she's really looking forward to getting that started. So she wants to do a little bit of cleaning up out front before she starts to do some building. And I'm so excited to announce that we're actually going to be starting building this episode. So yes, finally. But as you can see, she doesn't have a lot of money. So we'll also be trying to raise a little bit more money like in the meantime as well during today's episode. So I'm just going to have her kind of go for a walk just so that she's off of the property, but also kind of keeping busy while we do some of the building. The idea is kind of like, in the meantime, she was able to have the trees removed. And as I mentioned before, she did a little bit of cleaning up around in order to clear up some of those, what do you call them? Leaves. And I find it so interesting. She had so many trees on her lawn that the entire back of her lot it's just all leaves. That would be like a nightmare, but it would be kind of fun also. Like, can you imagine just like playing back there? Where I live, fall is a thing, but they are really, really good at like coming by and like trimming the trees and like making sure that there aren't too many leaves like in different areas of the city. So it's not like my hometown where every season it's just like the wonderful smell of wet leaves. It's also not very rainy here in fall, so I'm feeling a little envious of her. But anyway, as you can see, she's kind of gliding. It's kind of funny. But as you can see, I purchased a workbench for her. And as she does work on the workbench, we're going to imagine that she's actually starting to build the property herself. And she'll have some help from different people. Maybe her dad will stop by or Paca. Here's Paca. Maybe Paca will stop by and help every once in a while. But for the most part, she's kind of DIYing it, which is wonderful. All right, so we're going to settle down at our computer in our nice, warm little... It's not a cabin. I don't know why I was going to call it a cabin. Okay, everybody's blowing up her phone, as per usual. Okay, but we're just... Oh, there she goes again. Hi, Mom. You know what? That witch lady, I don't know, the magic lady, she's so mean. I always thought, oh, she looks so cool. I can't wait to, meet her in the neighborhood and just be friends with her because I like her style. Like, I like the way that they designed that character, but she's so mean. None of my characters ever like her because I never make mean characters, so they never get along. But anyway, Sienna's kind of feeling under the weather, so I'm going to have her take some medicine. And she also got some free packets. One of the things I like about fall, when there's Harvest Fest, those if you give a gnome something they like, they give you some free seeds, right? And each seed packet is like $100. So that would be like one way when I'm ever doing like a rags to riches style like let's play. That's always one way that I always try to get some mega bucks like really fast. I'll like put like a whole bunch of the cheap gnomes like out in the front. And I'll just keep giving them stuff so that they give me free seed packets so I could just sell them out of my inventory. I've gotten pretty rich off of that. Anyway, as you can see, Sienna's in a phenomenal mood. Okay, there. She will start opening some of these. And I wish that they would let you queue that up. I'm still not sure why that's not a thing that you can do. But anyway, let's stash some of this stuff in the fridge so that she can lower her cooking costs. It's actually really high. You may have noticed whenever she cooks anything, it's actually quite high. So anyway, we're going to get her set up on her little workbench here. She's going to start, we're saying that she's like building furniture, right? That's the thing that they do in the game. We'll be selling that out of her inventory as we go along. But for the most part, yeah, we're just saying that she's sort of building. And you'll see in a little bit like what that looks like. This child, this is not the first time we've seen this child, is it? Isn't that the kid that came to our house during Thanksgiving? What does this child want? I'm pretty sure that's the same kid. Like, what do you want? Why are you obsessed with us? I have no idea who this child is. But anyway, Oh, it looks like Dad has come to visit. We're gonna chat with him for a little bit, maybe get some advice from him and so on. He always seems so excited to see her. I like how before, every now and again, her mom would kind of visit, but not actually come to see her. She would just come like buy a painting and leave. But her dad seems really keen on just like visiting her just to say hi, which is nice. Blaine does too from time to time. It's a common thing in the game, and it's not my favorite thing because it's actually quite annoying sometimes. You're just trying to hang out and people just keep calling you. And if they don't call you, they just visit. It's like, can you guys like go to work or school? This game is really goofy. But anyway, so her dad was giving her some advice, and she was kind of happy to have the advice, but at the same time, it's like, hey, Dad, I got this, okay? I can't depend on you for everything. Honestly, even though Sienna was glad to have her dad's help, she still feels just slightly salty, that she wouldn't have been able to adopt the baby, like, if it weren't for her dad being there. She's still slightly salty about that. She's like, I got this. Like, she would have preferred 100% to have been able to just accomplish that, like, on her own. But at the same time, she recognizes the limitations, she recognizes the process, she appreciates the process. So, in the end, she was happy to have the help, but secretly, down deep, it's another story. All right, so we're going to start building what I'm assuming is just going to be like the entrance. And I don't really have a good idea in mind of what we want it to look like, but I just want it to be very Sienna. That's the only thing that I can say about it. So, the same as with her dad's like little workout room, like earlier in the series, we're just going to kind of have this quite unfinished look, like, like it's in progress, I love this kind of stuff. These clutter items mean the world to me in this game because they help bring the game to life. Like, it gives the game an aspect of realism that the average items just don't give. All right, so it's a little bit later. She's a little bit tired from all the quote-unquote building. So she's going to have a short break. And she is feeling kind of social this evening. So she's going to spruce up. That's a phrase, right, in English? She's just going to freshen up a little bit. There she is. What was that? Putting on some cologne or something like that? Yeah, she got a little bit flirty. Yeah. She's having a good time this evening. She's accomplishing a lot, so she's feeling quite good. And she's going to invite over Paka. There are some things she wants to kind of talk to Paka about, and there are also some things that she really wants to establish with Kohei. It's difficult for her to make a decision for a variety of reasons. So she's still just kind of weighing her options, and she's kind of excited about the prospect of getting to know Paka better. And because her little, it's not a cabin. Why all of a sudden is the only word I can think of to describe this place a cabin? Okay, so her trailer is small, so sometimes it's a little difficult for them to actually like communicate, for her to communicate with anybody, but especially when people come to visit. So give me 2 seconds. Gonna try to make it a little bit easier by sending her outside. And then Paka just lets himself in anyway. Paka has a key. I'm pretty sure he has a key, so he can come anytime. But I don't think he actually has visited her yet. Or maybe he has. Probably not. And so then here it says that maybe she might have a playful side, which is not something that, I mean, she's kind of she kind of has been that way this whole time. So that's also something that's kind of like, I think they actually do get along quite well because Paka's a joke ball. Look, you live abroad long enough and you start to forget your native language, okay? Joke ball is a thing, right? Okay, so we're gonna try to get a little bit closer to Paka this episode. You know how when they're teens, you can just sort of have them fool around? That's kind of like what I want them to do. I don't necessarily want her to go all the way with him. And so that's what we're going to imagine that they did, okay? So I don't want you guys thinking that she's just kind of like getting down by like every single guy like in the neighborhood. This is not the idea, right? But it's just to see, I guess, kind of test the waters a little bit. And there she goes with the engagement ring again because she's just so excited about starting a family. So we'll see what Paka's all about. And I don't know, something about like the way that they interact with each other when I just let them talk to each other is very good. Like for whatever reason, whenever she's with Kohei and I just let them talk to each other, it's just kind of awkward. It's always so awkward. But there they are. They're having their first kiss together. We'll put it that way. And a little hanky panky. We'll just leave it there. But we have this problem here, and that is that Blaine came. And I don't know why. He just arrived in the middle of the hanky panky. And it's kind of awkward and weird. But we're going to roll with it. And Paca's just sitting there having, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know who he's making the report to. But he apparently thought it was very important to get right on the phone afterwards. So we're going to leave him there for a second. But, one of the things that Sienna misses about being home is actually cooking for her brother and her dad. Like, I mean, her mom's there and she's just kind of, there. But like watching her brother and her dad like eat the food that she made is something because Sienna's a very caring person, right? So she wants to start a family for a reason, okay? So she likes to feed people. So like her immediate thought, oh my gosh, I have 2 people in my house. Like, what do? I feed them. That's what I do. That's her whole thing. It's like, oh, did you eat? You ate already? That's okay. You can eat again. It's kind of funny. And of course, Blaine misses her, but Blaine is also kind of curious. Like, what's this guy doing here? Like, both of you guys came out of that tent. It was just kind of weird. And she's like, we were just talking, like her brother's not that much younger than her. And her brother's like, yeah, I'm sure you were just talking. Yeah, I'm sure. Like this guy just came over for Thanksgiving and now you guys are just like in a tent, like on your property. It's just kind of like, what? So, Blaine kind of knows now, especially because these two can't help themselves but flirt like right in front of him. So I guess this is now her, like, oh, here's Blaine. Here's Blaine. Oh, hey, Blaine, like, maybe I may, be getting to know Paca a little bit better, but, we're not like dating or anything. And Paca's like, yeah, we're not like dating or anything. So she feels like, okay, Paca's not putting this weird pressure like, yeah, no, I'm, I have designs, right? He's not like saying it like right out, right? But they're both just like trying to be kind of organic about it. Like they're both just kind of testing the waters and seeing how it's going to work out, right? Her brother's telling the most amazing story. And he's just being a total teenage boy. It's so funny. And it's also, I think, his first time being here since she finished the renovations. So they're also kind of excited about that. He's like, wow, this place looks great. Can I come hang out every now and again? She's like, I don't have a system, And he's like, I'm sure Dad will get you one. I'm sure. Speaking of Dad. Okay, but then we're not going to invite Dad in this time. But anyway, yeah, so the guys are going to head out now. Bye, Paca. It was good getting to know you better. Yeah, their relationship built pretty appropriately after that, too. So that's kind of exciting. And of course, it's not a night without a bee attack. Poor Sienna. Anyway, she's going to head off to bed now. Alright, so it's the next morning, and she's checking her period tracker again because the mood struck. She just wants to see what it says. Alright, so here we have this little report here, which gives us some very, very helpful, very, very useful information. But again, we're going to kind of hold off on herself getting pregnant, at least not like with a plan to get pregnant, just for a little bit. Alright, so now on to making some money. So I find the odd jobs in the game relatively okay. Every now and again, they'll fail an odd job, and it'll make me want to... It really makes me just want to get so mad. Because I don't always know why they fail it. But I guess like in real life, you'll have those people who are just difficult. And they're like... Because I used to do something called... Oh, I can't remember the name. But, it was like... You would be able to find these really, like, cheap, like, short jobs that people are like, hey, answer a survey and you'll get, like, 30 cents or something like that. And so I would just, like, spend an afternoon just, like, doing a bunch of those little things. And every now and again, there would just be one person who's just like, oh, you didn't do it right. I'm not going to pay you. And it's like, are you serious? You're not going to pay me the 50 cents? Like, are you kidding? So I definitely understand. But anyway, she's off to her odd job now. Bye. Why is she going through the door? It's so funny. This game is ridiculous. And of course, on the way back, She goes through the door again. So funny. Anyway, it was a great success. So we made a little bit of money, but not as much as I would have hoped. And yeah, I don't really want to spend the entire time just always doing painting. So for her to do some of these odd jobs, it would be nice. But I just discovered a kind of a problem. So in terms of what I want her to do, I want her to run a retail store, but you cannot have a baby on the same lot as your retail store, which is very difficult. And then also, we're already starting to build on her residential lot, which would mean that, I don't know, I'd have to kick her off to like an empty lot and then pretend to buy her lot, her previous home lot as a retail lot, And I don't know, that seems kind of strange as well. And, I would continue to use that original like retail like mod, but I don't know, it was kind of annoying at first. I want to make sure that whatever it is that we do, is kind of fun, like at the same time. It's not just like repetitive. It's not always the same thing. And like running a retail store is a lot of fun, but it would mean that every time that she did it, she would need to call a babysitter. And I just don't feel like that's something that she would do. She would just have the baby there with her. But we'll give it a try. We'll see what different options we have as we move along, because we're not ready to open yet. We're still just building at the moment. So we'll see. But in any case, she found a job, and the job requires her to make 2 concept something or thingamabobs. So she'll get to that. All right. So as you can see, she finished those and they were both approved. Yay. So we made a little bit more money. And now we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to try to invite Kohei out. I tried to invite him, but it didn't work. But in any case, we're going to get started without him for a little bit. And here's Yama-chan, so cute. I don't even know what to say. Like, I love these mascot characters. But the city that I lived at before I moved to the city where I live now, I'm in Japan. Like, the mascot character in the previous city was so scary. It was so creepy. Some of them can be incredibly creepy. And that one was definitely probably one of the creepiest ones of all the ones. But the one where I live now is kind of cute. Yeah. So much fun. And I've never really been to like a city festival here. But there was a city festival in the previous city where I lived, and you could see like a big doll of it. But I couldn't take pictures or anything with it. It was too big, but it was fun. It was kind of interesting. Yeah, though I don't know, living in Japan has its perks. And one of the best things about Japan is that there are vending machines everywhere, but it's kind of expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to spend. I'm a cheapskate. Sometimes I don't want to spend the money, to be honest. But I figure if she's gonna come all the way out here, if she's gonna take a trip to a place that she doesn't usually go to, she might as well try the local stuff. You know what I mean? Even though I'm sure she can order it at home. Okay, so let's see if we can get Kohei over here. That would be nice. And I love the atmosphere of this place as well. The snow is so nice. And there are fireworks for reasons. But we're going to settle down and have our snack while we wait for Kohei to arrive. Alright, and so it looks like he finally got here. So I'll go find where he is and we'll go say hi to him in a minute. Oh, here's Mom again. Yeah, I'm sure you two had a spectacular time. You both have the same personality. I'm sure she's now your best friend, Mom. Alright, so there is... He's never short... I didn't do it this time, I promise. He is never short of flirty. Alright, so we're gonna just talk to him for a bit. And we're gonna start asking him some more, like, important questions. We may have asked him some of these questions before, but it never hurts to double check, you know what I mean? I'm glad the game finally, or this content here, finally acknowledged that she's an artist. It's been a while. But anyway, okay, let's see what we got here. Alright, so we kind of knew that about him before because we've already been with him. But we haven't been with him since then. And so, I don't know why Sienna reacted negatively to that. I guess she really wanted him to just be honest with her about how much money he actually has. And here she is kind of opening up to him. And, yeah, he didn't give her a positive response, which is not good. And And we're gonna try to see if we have anything like in common. Like they can just kind of talk about things every now and again, but like when it comes to things that Sienna's interested in, he doesn't really respond the way that she expects him to, which is kind of sad. This is kind of awkward. Oh, come on, guys. Okay, so she's talking to him about cooking this time, and he's kind of on board with that. That's good. Okay, so there's at least one thing we could talk about together. Wow, okay. They are not digging each other right now. Oh, okay, well that's good, but like yeah, you can see here these little pop-ups come up. Like she doesn't have this problem with Paka. That's why. That's why I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? Okay, so she's having her little drink and they continue to chat. She continues to be like, I don't know about all this. Yeah, like, am I a fool? This happened before on their date before. He makes her feel bad. I don't know what else to say. I mean, since the beginning, like when they first met, it was like they just kind of, I guess, kind of rushed into a professional like relationship, and maybe it would be better if they just kept it a professional relationship. So she asked him, I think it's supposed to be, do you think I am good to you, right? And he's like, no. Like, what is that about? I'm like, you see, this is why their relationship doesn't build. This must be why. So I'm just like, well, maybe we should just like cut it short. But before that, we want to make sure we get some, some good memories of our kind of trip here. And I think he's able to have kids, but I don't really know if Sienna wants to do that with him because he just seems like a weirdo. But yeah, look at this atmosphere. Not a weirdo. Sorry, that's not very nice. But he just seems kind of, if I say off, it also doesn't sound nice. There's something about him, where it's just like a block, like a roadblock. I don't know how to describe it. All right, so we're going to see if we can take some pictures with Kohei and see how that turns out. I want to blame it on the new interface, but actually, this is me no matter what. Even with the old game, even though I had it for years, I would just be looking through the menu. Like, I've never looked in the menu before. Like, oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're taking pictures. Sienna looking fresh-faced. She usually wears makeup. But I think for her winter gear, she doesn't wear makeup. She's so cute. And I like some of these poses. Some of them I've never actually seen before. They're kind of funny. And I'm not sure if this is a vanilla or not. Because I may have found some content that gave me some interesting poses, but I don't think these are it. And this might be new with the high school pack update, perhaps. I can't remember, but I don't remember seeing these before. Okay, we get one last shot here. Snap. And we'll also get some shots around the festival itself. Whatever this thing is, so cute. And this big dinosaur. I wish you could make it zoom out a little bit more. I don't understand why they make the window so small. You can't hardly see anything. Alright. So we'll just kind of saddle up next to Kohei and kind of, start to say goodbye to him. And I think at this point, Sienna's just kind of feeling it might not work out with Kohei like she was hoping that it would. But, she'll kind of, keep up the, I don't know the best way of putting it, but okay. Now we can see that there's a problem. So, like, there's her dad in the background. And her dad's just kind of watching. But she doesn't recognize that. She doesn't know that he's there. And so her dad also is under the impression that, Paka's going to be the guy. And it's like, he's like, there's my daughter. Oh, wait, what is she doing? I thought this other guy that she brought to Thanksgiving was going to be the guy. And now she's kissing some other guy? Like, what's that about? So Sienna's gonna head home with her dad wondering what the heck is going on with his baby girl.